Hey everybody, this is Movie Versus, the podcast in defense of bad movies. This is a prequel episode, so that means we are going to assign movies, all that jazz. We're also going to do some talking. We saw a thing. We'll mention that. It was the Room midnight showing.
Wow, way to...
And
I mean, I wish we would have. I wish we would have seen the thing instead.
It was a little. That's a little sizzle for a head because Tommy Wiseau was there as well. And we got stories about the night and all that stuff. Never mind. I was gonna make a dumb joke. And usually it's never. Yeah, I was about to say it's never stopped me before.
Very rare.
And this is. I mean, everything's a little off because Steve and I are actually sitting in different. By the way, I'm Tyler Lamb, and I'm joined with my co-host Steve Janik. How's it going?
It's all right. Aside from the fact that you seem to have booby-trapped this seat.
Oh yeah, because you hit your knee the second you sat down.
It's titty-trapped, Steve.
Yeah. What are you, a child going around saying booby? And that fine young man who is correcting the immature
old man.
The immature
Wait a
old
minute, that's
soul.
not better.
Over here. That is Charlie Pixley. What's up, Chuck?
I've aged like a fine glass of milk.
Oh, God.
So you're now cottage cheese?
Mm-hmm. Also delicious.
So you were ruined like a day after you were born?
Mm-hmm.
So this episode, like I said, we got all that stuff going on. I don't feel like I have to repeat it. First off, I had to assign the movies, which is a thing that I remembered about 10 minutes ago.
I was gonna say, you remembered with plenty of time.
Almost 10 seconds ago.
And yeah, I came up with a little thing. I came up with a theme. I wish that September was, because that's what it'll be coming out in September. I wish September had more like things going. Like October is going to be an easy month because we can always do horror movies. There's always we
could see movies that have Green Day members in it, so that you could wake us up when September ends.
Okay, yeah, because they're in so many movies.
But then it'd be October. Hey, Billy Joe Armstrong was in a movie last year, I think.
Was it a movie about Green Day?
I don't know. No, it wasn't actually. It wasn't.
We should just watch their rock opera, Jesus of Suburbia.
Yeah, that's a thing I know about.
Dude, Billy Joe Armstrong is so punk. He was in a major studio-produced movie.
Dude, what a punk! He's an American idiot.
Normcore.
And so he's a dookie and a basket case.
Okay, well, one of those was albums and one of those is a song title. So now I don't know what to do.
I know, I should have kept going with the album name, but I only know two of their albums. So... And the joke honestly did work best with he's an American idiot and he's a dookie.
Well, they got that one album.
One of them's called Nimrod, I think.
They got one of those albums, Viva Pinata.
Oh, yeah? Viva Lost Day or something?
I don't know. They have some. I don't know.
Long Live Day.
Then there's also their the band that they pretended to be when they decided.
Chris Gaines.
Yeah, I was about to say Chris Gaines.
No. They did. They made a band called Foxborough Hot Tubs, where it was just them playing.
It sounds terrible.
I liked it, but it was
them playing what?
It's kind of like a mix between
Backgammon.
They kind of sound like an American version of the Fratellis.
I don't know that band either. But I was saying that's a terrible name. Like it sounds.
Oh no,
terrible.
It's not a great name for a band, but they did it.
So yeah, enough about Green Day.
Never,
thank God,
never. Not possible.
So what I'm gonna do is I figured Labor Day is at the beginning of the month, so I figured I'd do something. And
what to expect when you're expecting.
Damn it. No, actually, Steve, because of that, you're going to have to see the movie Labor Day.
Is that like another one of those day movies?
I mean, it sounds like it.
Did we not watch that already?
No. I saw Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But Charlie, you're seeing Valentine's Day.
Fuck, I thought we watched that too. All those whatever. No, I know about Labor Day.
I feel like that Labor Day might be about, it might be a period piece.
of labor.
I thought it was
Oh,
that
am
one.
I gonna
No,
learn
like
about
this
labor
girl.
laws?
This
I
this
thought it
girl.
was that one with like Josh Brolin.
Don't say it, Tyler. Don't say it.
Well, yeah, it is Josh Brolin. I think so. Yeah, but I think it takes place in the past. And yeah, my joke was going to be about a girl who gets pregnant, so it's a period piece. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
labor.
That's a no period piece.
Yes.
Yeah, but then Labor Day, like the day she has her labor.
No. I get
it's-
that, but like if she's pregnant,
I don't know.
she
I'm trying to
doesn't
make.
Get her
I'm trying to
period.
make my.
Yes.
Yeah, but she has it like at the beginning of the movie and the end. I don't know. I'm trying to make my joke work and by the title of the
it
movie
won't
and
be.
saying period piece.
I'm with you on this one, Steve.
For once.
Damn it. All right, well, whatever. So yeah, those are the movies you guys are seeing. Everybody's excited, and the crowd goes wild
The crowd
because
goes
they said they all breathed a deep exhale. Everybody listening just sighed deeply because they're like, finally,
Tyler
I'm going
got,
to hear
got
these.
his comeuppance.
I'm going to hear these hot takes on these movies that I've been clamoring for forever.
No,
This is
what
good.
what our listeners are doing are looking up Labor Day to see what the fuck it is.
This is great too because for Valentine's Day, you'll be hearing about it just about as far away from Valentine's.
That's why I
Day
picked.
in the
That's
year
why
as
I
we can
picked.
go, so.
That's why I picked it. I almost went New Year's Eve, but it didn't have day in the title.
Ah.
And then I thought, oh wait, yeah, it's almost as far from Valentine's Day as it could be. That works.
and about as close as we can get
To Labor Day.
So I'll
Yeah.
watch Independence Day instead.
Resurgence.
Damn
Oh,
it!
shit.
I totally.
I don't
lose.
know.
Resurgence is like it's not great, but it's probably still better than Labor Day.
Oh, Steve, your argument is already dwindling.
Just Brett. Well, it's got Brent Spinner again.
I thought it was
Or Brett-
Spiner.
Brett Spiner. I don't know.
Brent Spiner.
Spiner.
Brett.
It's a Brent Cleveland steamer.
I think that's what his like birth name, but his acting name, because he had to get in because there's already a Brett Cleveland Steamer in the Actors Guild.
Why
so
didn't
he
you
had
just
to.
do a Brent B. Cleveland steamer then? Like
I don't
Michael.
know, dude. I'm not or a Brent C. Steamer.
No, B Cleveland Steamer.
Yeah, shit. I mean, clearly we're all smarter than him, and he was Data or Data. What is it?
No,
know.
Data definitely.
Okay, then
You
it's
can-
Data. He was Data
He's
in that
Datum.
show.
Single.
I don't know.
You can argue Spinner versus Spiner with me because I don't honestly know, but Data is definitely named Data.
No, it's Data. It's definitely Data. He's a robot, right? A little robot named
A
Data.
Let's watch his.
Yeah,
fucking trailer.
God, I hate you.
Okay. I have something to say. First of all,
First of all, Steve, stop playing that Star Wars game.
This is the second thing that I've seen Jennifer Garner in now where she alludes to jokingly sleeping with children. Because also in 9 Lives, when she gets back into bed with her child, and she's like, now,
She's like,
where were we?
let's
and
fuck.
then wraps her up again, which was very creepy. And now in that, she alludes to that kid like, hey, don't
does.
tell the other kids that we had a date in the barn because they might think something.
She doesn't want people to, get on her scent.
She should be like, let's give them something to talk about.
How about love?
Damn it. Who was in that movie? Was that?
What, wait, what movie?
There's a movie called Let's Give Him Something to Talk About.
I'm talking about the
Oh,
song.
yeah, I thought you were talking about the trailer we just watched, and I was like, Steve, there's a lot of people in that.
No, that movie was just
Like Eric Dane, or whatever his name was.
whoever that is.
Patrick Dempsey. What a hunk.
Meanwhile, I have 3 people in my movie.
Yeah, they're totally different. I guess I didn't realize that Labor Day wasn't
was not
directed
part
by.
of the Day series.
Yeah, it wasn't directed by Gary Marshall. So
Oh, I thought you knew that beforehand because it's like
I wasn't
these
totally
movies
sure.
are hella different.
I don't know. It's still funny. I know
Yes,
that. I know
but
we
whatever. It
had.
doesn't
I know we
fucking
had a debate about more similar movies in the past, but
Yeah.
I don't know. With shit like this, I feel like it's
They both look pretty shitty.
they
No,
do.
But Josh Brolin's gonna murder a family.
He in the thing about that trailer,
God, you can only hope for your argument's sake.
like the the Valentine's
No,
Day.
he's gonna find love.
So the Valentine's Day trailer seemed just like. I mean, none of it seemed funny, but it seemed like it was trying really hard to be kind of goofy and wacky.
Can we talk
And then-
about Topher Grace not knowing that Valentine's Day doesn't always fall on a Thursday, and
Yeah.
that is only Thanksgiving?
Well, and when he was delivering those lines, it sounded like he didn't
had
want
given
to.
up.
Guys?
I mean, isn't it on Thursdays? I don't know.
He was- He was like, "I just need to eat. Someone give me money for this."
He's not making that Spider-Man money anymore, so he's trying.
Anymore.
or that 70s show money anymore.
Well, he probably still is
gets
making
like
that.
Yeah.
royalties.
But then the Labor Day trailer seemed like it was just trying so hard to be dramatic.
Yeah.
Like, very like, oh my God.
Yes.
Can you believe that this serial killer is staying?
At any moment, Josh Brolin could kill everyone. Is the way that movie looks, which is weird because I feel like it's going to be what was that
Porno.
movie? No. It's gonna be like the movie Criminal, but without Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
His brain.
I'm imagining a scene where he's like kind of kissing the mom a little bit or something, and he looks at the kid and just gives him a wink, like,
and closes the door to the room.
Godfather style. Yeah, that.
And then the kid wakes up with his severed
In a
mother's
cold-
head.
Yeah.
And by that time, Josh Brolin has moved on. I mean, I thought he
On
said
the old dusty
and
trail.
he's-
he said he was going to
but-
stay out of the way
but
until
he's-
then, but
but-
clearly he got in the way.
But guys, don't worry, because he took the cannoli.
But did he leave the gun?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good.
Oh, he left the. No.
I mean, you didn't even need to say it all. So yeah, Labor Day is Steve's movie, and he only hopes that all of those things happen that we just said.
Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to screw up and watch What to Expect When You're Expecting.
I don't know why. Is that a Labor Day movie? Why did you mention?
it's about labor. It's about a bunch of people
so
going...
so that was just a worse version of the joke I made about
Yes.
Labor
Yes.
Day. Okay, my joke was better.
But mine was linked to a real movie.
Yeah, Labor Day's a real movie.
Should have done that movie versus the Demon Baby movie that came out last year or something.
Oh, are you talking about the one that's directed by Jared Carpenter? What's his name?
No.
What's his first name? Why can't
John?
John Carpenter? Yeah. What is that movie called? Pro Life.
Yeah,
There we go.
Not that one.
Well, didn't that movie not come out last year? Wasn't that kind of old now?
It was a couple of years now.
Okay.
What movie are you talking about?
I can't remember what it was called, but
There's that new movie that's coming out soon on Netflix.
the marketing
The
scheme was
Omen?
great for it. No, it had like the little baby carriage with the baby that would flip up out of it, this demon baby, and just throw up on people, and they had it out in the street, like rolling
What the
around.
fuck?
Are you sure this wasn't a YouTube prank?
I'm positive. No, because it was the marketing for this movie. We'll look it up afterwards.
No, I was thinking...
Devil's
Oh,
Due, I think. Or
Oh,
something
God,
like that.
that's a terrible
How is
name.
"do" spelled?
D-U-E.
DUE.
Oh man.
But,
I'll look it up.
there's also...
I mean, it could have been D.
Devil's
D.
Doo-Doo.
I was wondering if it was. I was hoping it would be
D-O.
DEW.
Oh. that was-
So like,
God.
yeah.
No, there's a new
Got
movie
the
coming out
Devil's
on...
Doo
There's a
all
new
over
movie
your
coming out on
face.
Netflix on the 1st of September where...
Oh yeah, it's got Adam Scott.
Yeah, where Adam Scott's like the
and
stepfather of
somebody
the son of the devil.
else. The girl is somebody famous too.
Somebody famous that I haven't
That
seen
hasn't been in like comedies.
Devil's Due 2014.
Is it...
Can you look up while you're on there? Can you look up Adam Scott? And
I
just
want
see
to.
what
I
the
want to
movie
say
is
it was
that-
Holly Marie Combs, but I'm not positive.
I feel like it's an actress that has been
But
in
it could-
stuff,
yeah.
but not really any comedies.
I
And
think
this
I
is
might have. I might have thought it was Holly Marie Combs, but I don't think.
Is it a comedy though? It's
And
a
what movie?
It's some like new Netflix movie.
It's It comes out on September 1st, but it's got Adam Scott and
Some girl, some lady,
some
and,
woman.
and they.
Were you trying to do like the Jerry Lewis lady?
No, I wasn't
How's he
trying.
doing?
I was succeeding.
Yes.
Uh,
You were.
And it's like they have a kid that.
Well, she has a kid, and Adam Scott's the stepfather.
Oh, I didn't watch the trailer. Yeah, it's like the devil though. It's like the Omen, but I think it's supposed to be a comedy. Isn't
yeah,
it?
because he's like
So,
he's
yeah.
like he just
Little Evil?
Yes. Yeah. See who
the female
I'm
lead is.
going.
Oh, God.
He's also in a TV series coming out called Ghosted.
Oh shit. He was also in Pretty Little Liars, I think.
I'm gonna definitely watch a show called Ghosted starring Adam Scott.
It also has Clancy Brown in it.
Because you know for a fact that show is about relationships. and
Evangeline Lilly.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She was in Lost. And
Hey, it's also got that Tyler Labine guy in it.
Yes,
He's funny.
Yes, I like
I
him.
don't know who that
I
is.
saw.
And Donald Faison and Crystalia.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
I saw all that, and that's why I
Crystalia definitely only makes great choices when it comes to film and
Oh,
TV.
100%.
I do like Tyler Labine a lot, and Tyler Labine, he had some lines in the trailer, and it was
And
pretty funny.
this guy, Kyle Bornheimer, he's been in some
Oh,
funny stuff.
Who's
yeah.
funny? I don't
He was in She's Out of Your
oh
League.
yeah, he's
yeah,
like
the brother.
Yeah.
he's in a lot of just random stuff.
We sure are hyping this movie up a lot.
Yeah, we are. We're sure
On
talking
act-
about other things, Devil's Due, and Little Evil, and yeah.
That's the sequel to Little Man.
What's
No,
the
it's the prequel because it's when he's born.
You're right.
And yeah.
what's the one with the Devil's Baby, and I think it has like Ron Perlman in it.
That's what
That's
we're talking
pro-life.
about. Pro-life.
That's pro. Okay,
Yeah, it's directed by John Carpenter, and it is terribad. It's terrible. It's so bad. It used to be on Netflix. It was like I think Showtime or something did a Masters of Horror series where they would have like famous horror directors come in and do a movie, but it would be like a short, maybe like 60 minutes total. And yeah, Pro Life was on Netflix, and I just stumbled upon it and played it, and it is terrible. It's and Ron Perlman, John Carpenter. So I was like, oh, this has to be pretty good. No.
You're not saying Ron's full name.
Oh,
Ronald.
Ron goddamn Perlman.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be Ron Weasley Perlman.
Yep.
I mean, he was Weasley Red in Hellboy.
Mm-hmm.
True.
That's right. That's right.
So
that's right. I went there.
So, yeah, we saw The Room midnight screening with Tommy Wiseau's presence.
Midnight in
with
quotations.
with the good, bad, or bad guys. We've kind of talked about this a little bit. So you had both seen the movie previously, and Charlie, you had also. You're like halfway through the Disaster Artist book, and I had never seen the movie before. So I think that we should all talk about what you guys thought, like the experience. Like what did you guys think?
I mean, fuck starting that late.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who
And
weren't
that's
there with us,
Well,
who,
no,
who
hold on.
just, like, don't
I'll
understand. Okay.
bring that up because I'll preface that with this is probably the worst thing I've ever experienced that I've paid money for.
Oh yeah.
This is the worst event that I've paid money for to experience because we showed up. It was 11:55 start, and we got in line at maybe like 11:15 ish.
Probably about there.
Yeah, but what about those Kings of Leon tickets you got for the St. Louis show a few years back?
Or that Guns N' Roses show I went to in the early 90s or whenever that happened.
That would have been some of the best money you ever spent.
That's true. We're rioting. But
Or that baseball game where we lost to the Red Sox.
Or
was
just
that here? Or was that in Boston?
I mean, we lost. I mean, Cole Wong got thrown out at first base in St. Louis.
Okay.
I think we might have. It might have been the end. I don't remember.
Okay.
Might have been the second to last game. No, it's actually the tickets that I had to those Braves playoffs games in I think 94.
You're way over my head on sports.
There was a baseball MLB strike one year, and it was like the one year the Braves actually went to they were like going to the World Series,
and then there was a
and then
strike.
all of baseball went on strike, so there was never. But yeah, anyway, we got there, we waited in line, which was fine, even though it was like 11:40 and we're still kind of in line, and we're like,
and they said 11:30 to open it up.
yeah, so we're going, and then it takes a while, and then a worker comes out and drops the bomb revelation of, oh, hey, by the way, if you just want to go in there and get seats, go ahead. If you want to get a picture with Tommy Wiseau, stay in this line, but you have to buy merch. And so we were all like, okay, well, fuck all of that. Let's get in and get our seats.
Or even I would have been willing to buy a piece of merch because that's how some things like that are. No big deal or whatever, but then don't start it.
Yeah, like that.
When
That
the
was
movie's supposed
that was
to
the
start.
Like we
And
we were all kind of like, I would like to meet him. I'd be willing to buy some merch, but I want to get this thing moving. So
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the sake of everyone, we're
So-
going to recuse ourselves from
So
standing in this line.
they definitely waited until that line was completely empty
Yeah.
to even start the movie, think about starting the movie.
Well, because they had to wait for him because he was doing like the Q&A before the movie.
Yeah, and then that bomb dropped. So by 1:30, no, 1:15ish, the movie still has not started. My girlfriend, who has to work the next day at 9 o'clock, who, yeah, if the movie would have started at
She works
11:55,
at the Tivoli too.
yeah, no, if the movie would have started at 11:55,
It still would have been.
she
pushing it a
still,
little
you know, I mean, yeah, we would have gotten back at like 2 probably.
Easily.
And or something like that, and so she still would have not got a lot of sleep. But it's 1:15 now, and she's like, "Oh, it's almost 2 hours past the starting time. This movie's only an hour and a half long."
Yeah, it
so
is.
It's like
At the time, it was the entire movie late.
yes, correct. And so she leaves, which I totally understand.
Oh,
I was
completely.
very close to leaving myself because I was also tired, and I was about to go up to an employee and just be like, "Hey, I want my money back. Like, I'm leaving." But right on the verge of that, a guy actually comes out at like 1:30 and he's like,
Well,
"Hey
it
guys."
was confusing because a lot of people cheered several times, making me think. Well, because I was like dozing. I was like, I'm gonna rest up for this.
So
Sarah and I did take a little nap in the theater.
I fell
while
asleep.
waiting.
I fell asleep during the movie a little bit. So this guy comes out and he's like, "Hey, so we're actually this is all this stuff happening in Italy. Who gives a fuck? We're gonna." And at this point, a guy takes my girlfriend's old seat and he's cheering it at fucking everything. He's wooing it at the Goodfellas.
Hey, that guy just farted.
Well,
Like and in my mind, because this guy's like, "Oh yeah, this movie's playing," and this guy's like, "Oh yeah, cool," and I'm like, "You're not going."
But
Stop clapping.
But even before that, since there's that football throwing scene in the movie, like people had footballs and they were like throwing the football in the theater.
Yeah.
And like a lower coordinated group there has never been because people were just getting smoked by footballs left and right that night.
The first like 4 or 5 tosses were all missed.
Yeah, and into people's faces.
Yeah, and it was even better because you would get the guys doing the like clap like over here, and then the person would throw it, and the throw would be good, but the guy just would not catch it.
Well, I think it was like one or the other. It was like either the throw was garbage or the catch was garbage, but there was never. I mean, I guess if the throw was garbage, we wouldn't know if the catch was garbage.
Yeah, and then so this guy comes out and he's like, "Okay, but first things first, we got to watch this trailer for the new movie."
Sorry, we're a few minutes late, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I almost punched that dude in the throat when he said that.
And he's like, "We're gonna watch this trailer for the new Tommy Wiseau movie with the dude who's in
Greg Sestero.
Greg Sestero." And so I'm like,
Who
"Oh
wrote
my god,
The Disaster Artist?
nobody gives a fuck."
I
Yeah,
was
I know.
excited for that,
So
actually.
we watched this trailer, and people are wooing it bullshit, and
They're just wooing anytime just Tommy Wiseau.
and
is
so the
near
trailer
screen.
ends. So I'm like, oh, thank God, now the movie's gonna start. But then they dropped the fucking curtain over the screen, and I'm like, are you what? Oh yeah, by the way, Tommy Wiseau is gonna do a Q&A. So then I was like, oh shit, I've been to enough panels in my lifetime. There's gonna be a line of idiots, and they're all gonna ask dumbass fucking questions that nobody cares about. Luckily,
So half that was true.
yes. Most of the questions were terrible, but Tommy Wiseau kept that shit fucking going.
Yeah.
He was talking fast. He was answering the questions, giving kind of funny answers. Like this one girl asked, how do you make them? How do I?
She was like, I don't have the funds to make a movie like you did. How do I make a movie?
And
like,
he says, are you kidding me? Where do you live? We're in America.
like, just do it.
And then he's just like, go away. And then one girl just asked for a hug, which was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
One guy
Which
asked,
means she didn't feel like paying for merch, was just like, I think I'm gonna try and just eke out a free hug.
yeah, one guy asked, hey, so between us, did Tommy or did what's his name in the movie?
Tommy
did,
hit Lisa.
Johnny.
Or Johnny,
did Johnny actually hit Lisa? And he's like, no.
I mean,
That's what
clearly, if you watch the film,
movie.
yeah.
like it's very obvious that doesn't happen.
So that happens. That like questions like that are asked, and that kind of leads into the broader theme of this entire viewing, where it's apparently all these guys thought it was open mic night, and they had the list of their fucking terrible jokes that they were just shouting out during this movie. That they were like, "Oh man, I thought this was funny," and I said it to my friend once, and he giggled.
You know,
like,
I think we would have had a better experience though had we been on the other side of the theater.
Maybe because
I
it
don't
was
think
the
we
people
would've heard
behind us.
A lot of that shit.
It was the people behind us, and then the
And they were
dude sitting next to
real
me.
loud.
Because a lot of the stuff with the whole crowd was funny, I thought.
Well, the like etiquette stuff that
Yeah.
you're supposed
Yeah,
to do,
yeah.
I'm fine with that. But these guys are just shouting.
Well, because there was the entire series of Bill Clinton jokes, which made zero sense.
yeah,
at all.
I don't understand.
topical, dude.
Yeah,
It, like I was telling you guys in the car, like it wasn't even topical for when the movie came out. When the movie came out, it was almost like all the way through W's like first time in office.
well, I
term in
think
office.
that
Pronounced
it's
W.
still. I
W.
think still there's like some. Well, not even. It's still not relevant. But I think what they're more referencing is like the recent sex scandals that Bill Clinton has been allegedly having.
Oh.
But even still, that was like during the presidential run.
I don't.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
a
do it.
year ago or whatever that people were talking about.
If he wants to do one, yeah, okay, whatever. But then
The dude-
motherfucker made like $1 million.
Yeah, the guy next to me shouted one, and I think like one person giggled, and he did that thing, you know, like when people who
When he, like,
I'm gonna
felt-
sound really fucking pretentious, but when people who aren't really that funny at all, when they make a joke and somebody like kind of giggles at it, and they like look over at them and make eye contact and laugh back at like, yeah, it was me, I was the one who said that. It's like, okay, dude, fuck off. Nobody. Like, oh
Well,
God.
never gonna do that again.
I leaned
Check.
over to Brian from Good Bad Bad Bad, and I was like, "Dude, this guy behind us is like a living YouTube comment. And it's so fucking annoying."
I was convinced that if I would have turned around, I would have seen a little light, which would have been from his cell phone. And if I would have looked at his phone, he would have been in the Notes app, and he would have just had like timestamps and fucking jokes written. Like that's how bad
Once
it was.
again,
It sounded like
cheaters on like
it sounded like he was reciting the joke he wrote for that specific moment.
I mean, his delivery
Well,
was perfect.
And well, not only that, but like because we had the privilege of sitting in front of him, we got to hear them twice when he thought it was too loud that the group, the whole theater, could not hear him.
Yes.
Because he would like say a joke, but like something else would happen, and then he was like, "Oh no, I missed that one. I'm gonna have to wait for it to come back around and joke again."
Also, the fact that I myself like was making fun of a lot of the audience near the beginning because I was tired and cranky that the movie was starting so late. And
yeah, you definitely wouldn't have otherwise.
I may be a little jaded.
Damn, that was a good one.
But no, the fact that everybody wooed their fucking asses off when Tommy Wiseau's name came up on the screen.
Oh,
Like
during the trailer.
that drove me. No, during the beginning of the movie where it was like directed by.
You're right.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know he was in this. And then I just started clapping and wooing really loud to when it would be like casting by. And because I don't know, to me it's like so fucking dumb. It's like you all have seen this movie. You just talk to the man. You don't need to woo because he's directing and writing. Like you knew this.
Yeah.
I don't know. That kind of thing is just dumb to me. But yeah, and also beforehand when everybody was like freaking out about Tommy Wiseau, I was just thinking, like, man, you all ironically like this motherfucker. Like, why are we all like jacking his little dick over this terrible? Like,
I do appreciate his passion though, and that he did.
no,
do
it's
something
fine. And
crazy,
the fact that he's making money off of it, more power to him. Like,
To be fair, he's making all of his money on the on the Twonderwear.
yes,
oh yeah, we had some like weird. Well, I mean, it was in all the movie. I mean, for the movies themselves, I'm sure. But these weird like adverts for Tommy Wiseau things that seemed like they were made decades before this movie even came out. Like
could be.
They
were
because they look like Calvin Klein ads.
Yeah, but also like really weird editing and like font even. Like it was like, what the fuck is this?
It looks like a Mad TV parody of a Calvin Klein ad.
Yeah. From
Actually, it really did.
but a '90s Mad TV parody of a.
90s.
No, I'm just saying
Actually,
that's the
I kinda
time.
like 90s
I'm just saying that's the time
like
period
Mad
they
TV.
would have made that parody.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah. So this whole experience wasn't that good. The movie was dumb, of course. Like I am more prone to maybe rewatch it, especially now since Madeline, my girlfriend, didn't see it at all. I'd be fine rewatching it to be able to just get the full experience. There are things that I feel like I wouldn't have known, like the fact that nobody ever closes a fucking door in that movie.
I didn't notice when I saw it before.
Like it did kind of irritate. Like everybody in the audience was just screaming like, "Close the door!" That didn't irritate me. What irritated me was the fact that everybody left the fucking door open.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ, nobody. What? How is that not even reaction when you're just leaving
Yeah,
a room?
I can't. I naturally close doors.
Like the director had to tell them no, leave it open.
Well, someone was about to walk through it again. What's the point of closing it?
Yeah. And there was I mean, when he fucking killed himself, that was cuckoo crazy. Like I did not expect that to happen. He just pulled out a gun. I laughed when he just pulled out a gun because it just came out of nowhere, and I was like,
That's so sweet that you didn't know that's what was gonna happen.
and then he just fucking shoots himself.
And then they did
And he
the
puts a
USA chant.
Yes.
Yeah.
He puts the gun like actually in his mouth, like cartoon style. Like he is choking on that thing.
Yeah, it's an interesting movie.
Those sex scenes are hot though.
Yeah.
And frequent.
You see that
And
girl's
repeated.
You see that girl's wait, they did the same one multiple times?
Uh-huh.
I didn't
Yeah,
notice that.
Twice.
The second time she hooks up with Johnny, it's the same scene again.
Yes. And they had the same roses again and everything.
I didn't notice that.
Yep. You can tell. Well, after
can
you
tell
watch
'cause
it a bunch,
it's
you
the
can
same-
tell the way his butt flexes. You know.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It was funny whenever there was a sex scene and there was humping, people would be like, "Oh, oh, at each like
Yeah.
thrust.
And the kissing was good whenever
Yeah.
she moved her jaw. I was like,
What's another one that was good? Oh, whenever Denny came out, whenever somebody said like, "How old are you?" I thought that was pretty funny.
Or I think another one that didn't happen too much, but it did happen. Is anytime he's on screen, just hi Denny.
I
And the
thought
spoons is funny.
yeah, the spoons, that was a little fun thing to just throw
And
because I didn't bring any spoons.
There were
But
a
I
shit
had
But
20.
I threw every single time a spoon came up because they would just. At one moment, I threw a spoon and then one landed on my lap.
Yeah.
I think I just had my hands upturned in front of me, and I would just get spoons.
Well, there was in front of Brian and Kyle of Good, Better, Bad, Bad. There was just a pile of spoons on the floor from being thrown, I guess. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it was funny when the doggy scene was coming up and everybody was like, shh, shh.
Yeah.
Because that scene is frantic.
But the guy
Yes.
the guy next to me was quoting lines like right before they were being said of the movie, so that was a little bothersome.
Dude, that's funny, dude.
But yeah, I mean, beforehand, hanging out with the Good, Better, Bad, Bad guys.
That was really good.
A lot of fun.
At Three Kings.
Yeah, I
it
know
was
that.
delicious and
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
I know
Very
that. I
good.
think they had a buddy come by. We had a buddy come by. It was nice. I mean, it's not like we had a huge,
Yeah,
fucking
friend of the
line
podcast.
outside of the
well,
the door.
but friend of the podcast and frequent contributor to the Facebook stuff.
Yes.
Ian was there.
yeah. So that was. I mean, that was a good time. So maybe that also kind of tainted the experience later, where it's like going from such a good time into
Sitting in those tiny chairs.
Honestly,
for-
I think we would have enjoyed it a lot more had it started on time. Because then we were
I
just
agree.
getting pissed and just like kind of frustrated.
Yeah.
And
And for me personally, I'm not like mad or like upset that we went or like
No.
I think I'm in a position where I'm like I'm not mad that I went. I probably won't ever do it again, but if I would have known it would have happened like it did, I probably would not have gone.
I agree with all
Yeah.
of that. I agree with. I mean, me saying it's one of the worst events I've paid for. That doesn't mean that I'm upset that I went. You know what I mean? Like I'm fine
Yeah.
that I went. I just,
Honestly, it was just poorly ran and
Yes.
managed.
yeah, very much so.
stole my Saturday morning from me.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. I didn't wake up till like noon.
Stole pretty much my Saturday because I was like busted.
Yeah.
Because I woke up at 7 and I just like did not get anything done of value yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
because we were probably. I mean, I don't know about you, Steve, but probably up for close to 24 hours that day. Then.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I
yeah,
was 23.
yeah, I think I was at 22 maybe. So yeah, it was. Steve,
I think
beat
I
us
was,
both. Just say 26.
No, I didn't make it 20. I think I was like
57.
I think I was 21 or 22.
Well, I was in the middle of a meth binge, so I was actually 3 weeks deep of no sleep.
No wonder you were so testy.
And you still haven't made it to Brooklyn?
Yeah, dude, and no sleep till. So,
Oh.
other than that, do we want to? I did it on. So I was on the Three Wise podcast earlier. I guess I'll do. I'll leave that sizzle for a little later. I was just gonna bring up a good, bad, or bad thing since we were talking about them.
Sure.
I'll bring it up later. Let's do the old stuff we actually like. That's what it's called. And we're gonna do it counterclockwise today because we're sitting in different chairs. But we're still gonna start with you, Steve.
All right, so I guess I'm actually just gonna go with, because you were making fun of me for playing it while we were watching trailers for a second. I'm gonna go with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It's a phone game.
Didn't you already bring that up before?
No, I was talking about a card game which I technically didn't use as much.
Oh,
as
okay,
I actually
okay.
liked, but
And you probably just mentioned it when you were over.
yes, that as well.
Okay.
No, it's a phone game. It's kind of like you build a squad out of Star Wars heroes and heroes or villains, or just like random characters from Star Wars. But they have, I would say, at least 80 different characters that you can use, and there are synergies and teams that you can build, and you just kind of like build it and play and have fun. And it's a freemium game, so you can pay to win if you want. But there's a lot of ways to make it feel like you don't need to, and that you're still kind of making progress.
Cool.
So that's what I'm happy that it's you can pay to win, but I don't feel like I haven't felt like even the urge to attempt.
Is it PvP or PvE?
It's both.
Okay.
There's like PvE stuff, and then the PvP isn't live action PvP. It's someone else, like your opponents have their squad that they've kind of loaded in, and then you play against like the
yeah.
AI running their team. But the AI for the team is pretty good. They go after healers, or if like they do an AoE and one person gets crit, so their health's low, they like focus fire that person down.
Gotcha.
You know, it would be an interesting idea for one of your squads if you just made a bunch of people that like were sent out there only to die.
And then
you
just
know, like
lose
pretty
PvP all the time.
much knowing that the mission that they're going out on is pretty much their own suicide. If you made a squad like that,
Depends on how you spell it, though.
how would you spell it, Charlie?
Probably with a K and a W.
Okay, good. That's what I was gonna say.
I was gonna say that
In suicide, right? K-N-W in suicide.
one of the letters is somehow a skull and crossbones.
On a dog tag.
So, Charlie, what is it that you actually like? You said before the podcast that you thought it was stupid.
No, I'm not.
We're putting that to the test.
I'm not gonna do that one. I'll save that for another one. Maybe.
Okay.
Things I like are giveaway.
Oh, okay.
I changed that up halfway through.
Okay.
So I have some tickets that we can give away to somebody. So I think anybody that could post on any one of our posts the best or most clever insult to any one of us of things they like the least about our show.
Oh, shit.
No, they
I don't know if I want to hear that.
Wow. And this is how we find out that Steve should just die.
Well, I was
going to
gonna say, it's
replaced
gonna
with
be-
literally anyone else.
After this episode, it's going to be like, Tyler talked about how people aren't actually funny. Well, newsflash, fuckhead. Look in the fucking mirror.
Hey, that would be funny as hell to read that, though.
with just like a link to like the air horn blast. Like,
Yeah.
So if anybody posts that or their favorite bad movie that we haven't reviewed that you want to see us do, I will give you.
Okay. So this episode should come
Herpes.
out on. Well, this episode should come out on August
For free.
30th or 31st. Is there an August 31st?
Yeah, it's August 31st.
Like, so it comes out then. When do you want these in by, Charlie? There should be a deadline.
Well, the show is on September 9th and September 10th, so I would say September 5th to give time to download the app, and I can transfer you tickets to Wayback Point Fest on September 9th and September 10th.
And note that this is pretty much for people in the St. Louis area.
Yes.
I mean,
I
guess if you live in England and you want them, that
it is
seems
at the Hollywood Casino
a waste.
Amphitheater.
There's-
The weather will probably be great.
One of our overseas viewers, like over in fucking Australia, is like, "Oh shit,
Wayback Point Fest.
Hey, if they want to, go for it.
these cunts are giving away."
I listen to the Riz podcast every day.
I guess it's not that. I mean, somebody could.
Yeah, I know. I just think it would be like funny if they did.
No, yeah, they were like, "I gotta get them."
That we just randomly have a fan that also listens. Like they're just like real into St. Louis media.
So remember, guys, and like 80s and 90s alternative rock. If you're in, so post either a bad movie that you want us to review or an insult that cuts to the core.
or your favorite Goldmember song.
I don't know. I'd be
or Goldfinger song.
I'd be
Sure.
I'd be
which
surprised.
is only Superman. That's the only answer.
I'd be surprised if any of the insults cut deeper to the core than the ones that I already read myself every day before I go to bed.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the things that you tell me before the cast. Like, Steve, none of that shit anymore. Like, okay, Tyler.
So, and then one of you will get a pair of tickets September 9th, September 10th.
Oh,
Get it in
shit.
by September 5th.
All right, so there's that. I'm sure we'll also do a little. I mean, Charlie, you can do a post on the
Sure.
thing after this episode comes out if you want to do that.
Because you don't want to ruin it.
Yeah. So that's what was the other thing? I'll let you. What was the other thing?
I was going to do a shout out to LED light bulbs because my dinner room is real dark, and I finally got some new ones, and they have improved that technology so much. They used to take forever to turn on and like get full brightness.
Yeah,
I put in one to replace two, and that shit is way brighter.
That is really dumb, but LED lights are actually really good.
Yeah, unless they're
because they don't get hot either. So that's
I was gonna say unless they're fucking headlights, because fuck those people.
agreed. I do think that the people with the LED lights are typically the sexiest, so I do try to fuck them. the most.
No.
So it just
Like,
made my
they
day
just-
to put those in my dining room. I was like, oh, this is way better.
It's always those a-holes in like an SUV, and I'm just in traffic or something, and their LED lights are just illuminating my entire car. I look
That's why
like
you
I'm
use
being
that little.
abducted.
That's why you use that thing to turn the.
Oh, I do. It doesn't help. It overpowers the mirror tilt thing.
reflection. I think For cars, like I think it's just the reflection, like it's
Yeah.
going off the reflection of your. I don't know. Mirrors are weird, dude. How do they work?
I don't know. I think they might.
How come every time I look in one, I see some like gross dude?
It disgusts me.
and why? Never mind. So those
He's
the
always
feel-
beating off when I am.
Feel free to use that as an insult towards Tyler.
So yeah, something that I actually like. I don't know if I mentioned this before. We need to get some like super fan who's gonna compile all the
Good
we
luck.
will never
Yeah.
have one of those.
So I may have mentioned this before because I may have talked about it when I first got it, but I finally beat it Uncharted 4. A Thief's
Actually, I believe you did talk about Uncharted 4, so you're gonna have to get a new.
A Thief's
thing.
End, the Uncharted
Actually, like-
quadrilogy or whatever it's called, the Uncharted series. There, how about that? I like all of Uncharted except for the first one.
The Uncharted Quartet.
Yeah, sure. They're really. I just beat 4 and it's really good. I mean, it's above and beyond probably one of the prettiest looking games I've ever seen. The faces,
That's because
especially.
they don't have a Tyler Lamb video game yet.
I mean, based off of what I just said, yeah, thank you, Steve. So you're the one that's been writing that stuff in my mirror that I see whenever it fogs up.
No,
Oh, shit.
that is someone else.
Charlie.
Hey, don't forget, that makes me think. Boo 2, a very Medea Halloween 2.
Oh, fuck.
It's coming at you.
Well, yeah, that's one of the scariest posters I've ever seen. Going to the theaters and seeing
You'll get that from us
Because
before the
it's-
end of November, probably.
because it's terrifyingly unfunny. Get it, guys? Oh.
Honestly, I think we should. Take
And they
bets
say
on,
I'm not funny.
I think we should take bets on whether or not Boo Medea Halloween Theater will be noisier than The Room Theater.
Ooh.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know. If we
Because it was real loud.
That was just
was.
because we were sitting in front of somebody who was eating God knows what, but
I think they
There were
had
a lot of
bucket
babies
of
in there,
chicken.
too, though.
that's true.
There was a sandbox.
Yeah, that but yeah, Boo 2, shit. Fuck. Okay. Anyway, Uncharted 4. Really, really good looking game. I almost said movie because those games play out like movies. It's one of those things where they've talked about making an Uncharted movie for a long time.
They're still working on it.
Yeah, they said there's going to do like a young Drake. But the thing is, like all those games are the best version of any movie that they could release pretty much. I mean, even the
So
first
and they just cut it down to like.
Yeah, even the first one, which is above and beyond the weakest of the series. Charlie, I know you've played at least the first one. Have you played the second
I
one?
played all the first one, I believe, and then only part of the second one.
Okay, well, 2 and 3 are
I know that.
really, really good, and 4 is even better. Well, actually, I don't know if I'm going to say that. 3 might be my favorite. 4 doesn't have as many like huge set
But
pieces.
4 is comparable.
4 is, I think it's just a lot more story heavy. Like it's just more about what's going on with all this, and it's a different writer and director. It's the guys who did The Last of Us. And some girl, Amy Henning,
Winehouse?
I think Amy Winehouse actually did the first 3.
Oh, shit.
So that's why everybody was pretty upset when she passed because they're like, what are
They're
they gonna do
like,
for
"What?"
Uncharted 4? But yeah, it was still really good. It was a good ending. If you're going in those games though, I would almost say skip the first one because the gunplay is not that good, and there's a lot of it. In the sequels, I don't think there's as much like actual fight. There's more puzzle stuff, and there's more like exploration kind of
I love a
things
good puzzle.
than there is fighting a group of enemies. And the gunplay is better. So the first one is just not that great. And it's not needed per se. Just look up a synopsis or like one of those YouTube things where it's like Uncharted the movie, and it just takes all the cutscenes.
Like
and-
whenever I see
Yeah.
something like that, I always think of what is it, the Aziz Ansari thing when he like looks up the ending to the first Saw. And like, you can't just read it. He's like, oh yeah, I know. So I go to the Wikipedia and I read everything about the first Saw, and then I get to the last paragraph and stop. And then I just go to YouTube and watch the final scene. And he was like, he said I was watching it and I did not expect that.
Yeah, I mean, Saw's a good movie though.
I really like the first Saw.
Yes.
All right. Well, that's about everything. I guess now. So we hung out with the good, bad, or bad guys. Also, earlier today, I recorded a episode for Three Wise Media. or Radio. Which one? Three Wise Radio, and I I am on that. So I think it
Good,
came out
because otherwise, like it'd be so funny if you like recorded it and like, so I'm not on it.
Yeah,
Like,
they just cut me out completely.
So there's just portions where they're just talking to no one, responding to nothing.
I mean, that's what people say. Most conversations with me are like. I'm just trying to get all these insults out
So that it hurts less when they're on the Facebook page.
Yeah, I'm on that episode, and I want to bring up. I mentioned this on that episode as well. A little good, better, bad, bad sizzle. It'll be coming out tomorrow. The time this episode gets posted, but it's just a little hint. They talked to us and they mentioned what the episode's going to be, and I was just going to say that it's a movie that I have had to watch on this podcast before, and actually not that long ago. Like it was pretty recent. It was within the past 10 episodes maybe.
Oh
That's
I forgot what it
like
even was, but I remember now.
That's like a quarter of our time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's something that we have seen and we've talked about. They are going to do it, and it's going to be. They were pretty jazzed about it. At least Kyle was.
Pretty jazz hands.
Yeah, they're watching The Jazz Singer. And so they were just doing jazz.
Oh, for
hands.
good, bad, or bad, bad. I thought you were
Yeah.
referring to Three Wise.
No,
Okay.
I was talking about good, better, bad, bad.
Gotcha.
Also, The Jazz Singer is a highly rated movie with blackface in it. So
Well, isn't it a silent film? Oh no, it's
No, it's
one
not.
of, it's
Dude,
one
you
of the,
said it was highly
it's
rated.
got
It's
what's
one-
his name in it?
It's
got
one of the first. It's one of the first movies with like audio tracks. I think it's like really early. in the audio track.
But it's got that one guy who
Charlie Chaplin.
no
Al Jolson?
Al Jolson, that's the guy. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was the guy who was in blackface in the movie.
Oh,
And then Mickey Rooney later, did his yellow
Hell yeah.
face. How else do you think he got so famous?
well, there was the landmark court case of him
Landmark, you're right. It's just-
of him abusing children. No, we're not going back down that road.
I don't think that was even. I think we made that.
No,
up.
we definitely made that up.
No.
That was no. Damn it, Charlie! Stop
Just
stop
like-
ruining that man's good name.
It
I
says
shouldn't
the
have brought
court.
it
The
up.
court case is as real as the fact that Mickey Rooney was the Phantom of the Megaplex.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
Oh
tell
my
you
God!
guys.
It happened.
So on that note, I guess. Oh yeah, thanks to Three Wise. Thanks to check them out. Check out. Again, the links to these guys are always in the descriptions now. Good, better, bad, bad. Beyond the Blast Doors. I should start adding a link to Critical Misadventure, that D&D podcast. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook at Movie Versus Podcast.
We're on your mind.
Always. And
Try and get them tickets.
oh yeah.
Yeah, by insulting.
Because I don't want them to go to waste.
Yeah, get those tickets by insulting me because we all know I'm the easy target.
Well, I mean, Steve, shut up. Now you're gonna make it so nobody wants to make fun of you because they're gonna be too sad.
That's what I thought he was doing.
That's his.
No. Wait. What? No.
Good Mark Wahlberg impersonation. Other than that, is that everything?
Steve did
pretty
try
much?
to blind me.
All right, bye. It's because he thought you were a Korean man.
Vietnamese, dude.
Oh, my bad.
You racist.
Movie Versus is a production of Three Wise Media. For more information, check us out on Facebook.